Good morning, Delaware. We have a beautiful morning this morning. I hope you're going to be able to enjoy it. Good morning, Nicole.
Oh, good morning, George. Should get my microphone in a place where I can talk into it.
That's why you're wearing the headphones so you know when we're on the air.
Right.
That's
Wake
Gage
up.
Tell us behind the board. Good morning, Gage.
Oh, good morning. Happy Friday, George and Nicole.
Friday, as they say on the previous show.
Beautiful day outside. I just got in and it was sunny. I love it.
Yes. We are delighted today to have as our guest Ian Hummel, better known as Captain of the Shawspots. Good morning, Ian.
Good morning, everybody.
It is so good to have you here. We haven't had you at the library recently because of COVID and all that sort of crazy nonsense, but
I miss you guys.
Well,
we miss you. Yeah. George looks at me in the morning. He goes, is there something coming up that I don't know about? And I said, no, we're in the greatest hits of the off-the-shelf radio show. George and I have had a 7-year run. Mm-hmm. He's retiring on September 30th, and this is our, is it sixth to the last show?
Yeah, I think there's 6 shows left.
Oh, man, I can't handle it. And so I said, we're bringing back the greatest hits. So they might not have any relevance to anything happening at the library today, but...
Are you going to have?
We're here for you, sir.
We're here for you.
Are you going to have Bette Midler sing to me the way they did for Johnny Carson?
Well,
on
did
his
you
last show?
see on the spreadsheet that I have a special guest for our very?
That, yes.
I'm not telling him who that is.
Man.
No. Might be Bette Midler.
Spoiled. Make sure I show up then.
Right.
Yeah, can I come too?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Does she
anyway,
need accompaniment?
She might, yeah.
so let's talk quickly about what books we're reading so we can get to the music.
Yes, well, I went super simple this week, but it was something that I've been meaning to do anyway. If you remember earlier this spring, we had Teri Liebensen on, and Teri Liebensen is a artist and a cartoonist, and we had her at the library because she's written several graphic novels about friends Ruby and Izzy and Emmy, and they all circle the lives of middle school girls, which is a whole lot of fun. But then they throw in other I think Tyler is one of the other friends. Teri shared during her presentation that before she got into, she'd always been into art, but before she got into doing graphic novels for tweens, she was doing a syndicated newspaper, a syndicated newspaper comic strip. And it was called the Pajama Diaries. She really got it going in 2011. And basically, it was a mirror of her life as a mom and of 2 girls and just kind of juggling jobs, a marriage, kids, while maintaining a sense of self, like, can you do that? And also living in Cleveland with, her husband and daughters. And so,
you do that?
Can you live in Cleveland? It's a hard road for those Clevelanders, isn't it? But anyway, so the Pajama Diaries is a compendium of all of the Pajama Diaries comic strips from a certain era. This one is subtitled Deja To Do, which is like you just always have that to-do list in your head, and you're like, have I done this before? Do I know anything about this? But her drawing style is really fun, highly relatable.
She kind of reminds me in the comic strip of Lynn Johnson of For Better For Worse, that comic strip.
Yeah, it feels a lot like that. Even some of the the coloring and the different things like that feel like, who was the baby? Marvin?
Yeah.
Is that the baby?
Marvin, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of like the coloring and the style feels a little bit like a Marvin kind of too, except you don't get the baby's perspective. It's all the mom's perspective, which is, but they're a whole lot of fun. I would definitely recommend checking it out. And it's a great coffee table book. I just left it by my bedside, and before I went to bed, I would just read a couple pages of it. The new white noise machine is a really fun one. It's created by parents everywhere, and some of the sounds that you might hear on the new white noise machine are screaming kids. After a while, this numbs the eardrums, providing a steady ringing sensation. You might also hear cartoon theme songs, heard by parents throughout the nation, has the ability to run through your head day and night. You might also hear neighbors barking dogs, a variation on screaming kids. You might hear spousal snoring. That could be on your parents' new white noise machine. Just when you feel like you can't block out all the other sounds, enjoy the rhythmic beat of your loved one's sleep apnea. And then finally, on the new white noise machine, you could have electronic toy noise, a harmony of beeps, bleeps, tinkling, and robotic singing combined to either blend into the background or drive you criminally insane. So these are just just a beat of some of the things that she has in here. So it's a whole lot of fun. The Pajama Diaries by Teri Liebensen.
That sounds great.
Great for parents everywhere.
Ian, do you have anything you want to specifically talk about here? A book, some new sound you're hearing?
Well, talking about compendiums of cartoons and reading them before going to bed, I do the same thing. I've got those tomes of The Far Side.
Yes.
Those big, giant, oversized, and Calvin and Hobbs.
Yes.
I think
of course,
maybe the two of the greatest comic strips of all times. And I have a couple of those by the bed. But it is hard to read a tome,
right?
As you go to sleep.
You're not gonna go through and finish the whole thing,
right? I feel like my
falling on your chest.
Right, my legs go to sleep as I rested on my legs. But I love reading. I've always loved comic strips as well. Obviously, comic books too.
Yeah.
I've got a whole song about it. But I love reading. I've got a bunch. My dad and I, read Far Side and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, comic strips and compendiums of those have always been something I've loved. Even Garfield ones and
I love
all
Garfield.
that. And I've always
I think some of the first books I ever bought for myself were Peanuts paperbacks.
Oh yeah, Peanuts
the
too.
Compendium of paper, they like 50 cents, and you'd get 100 or 120 strips that came out either right before I was born or right after I was born. So I was getting them in the 60s. So
yeah.
And those early Peanuts ones too. Like you see, Charles Schultz was going so long, you kind of see his style kind of change over time, and that early stuff is so cool. I love those too.
Yep.
Those are some of the first books I read. My dad, we had a little bookshelf at the top of my stairs, and my dad bought all the Far Sides, all the Peanuts, all the Calvin and Hobbs, The Office, or not The Office, Dilbert.
Dilbert, nice.
Basically, is The Office.
It is The Office, in comic
Precursor,
form.
right?
I've spent the last 20 years of my life worrying that I was the curly-haired boss.
Dilbert, right?
So anyway, okay, that's very cool. I'm currently reading a book about Don Rickles.
Oh,
and it's interesting. It's really interesting. But I think I'm going to wait until next week to talk about it because I'm only about a third of the way through. I'm only just to where he's just about to break really big.
You need to see how insulting he's going to get.
Oh, he's already pretty insulting. Yeah. So it turns out that two of his best friends, one of them was Frank Sinatra. And it happened when Sinatra came into his show one time in Miami Beach, and he said, "Frank, come in, make yourself comfortable, punch somebody." And Sinatra either could have gotten really mad or decided to go along with the joke, and he would decide to go along with the joke.
Oh, thank goodness.
He ended up sort of as part of like the Rat Pack, but when needed. When the Rat Pack was down a comedian, they'd bring him in. So and then his other best friend, who was completely different in style, was Bob Newhart. They were so close that he and Newhart and their wives used to vacation together because they were such good friends. So anyway, I'll talk more about that book next week. Right now, I think I want to just go to commercial so we can have some fun with the music in the second half of the show. So stay tuned, Captain of the Shazbots. So what you up to? What kind of stuff you playing? What are you doing? And what are you going to sing for us? And you can answer those questions in any order you'd like.
Well, excuse me. The morning is still in my throat.
I know this is not a time for musicians. I apologize.
It's not, but it is a time for Shazbots. We do play those early shows. We just haven't been playing a ton of them still in the era of COVID. The summer is a little busier than the winter. But we have been playing the festival circuit, the outdoor circuit, ComFest and the like, not patios. That's a different band. Believe it or not, playing at Land Grant coming up.
Oh, yeah.
They're having their anniversary party, I believe October 1st, that weekend, somewhere around there. They have like a family. They start with the family times in the morning, like around noon times. We've actually played a couple of fun gigs. Jenny's Strawberry Ice Cream Festival thing.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, we played the Strawberry Festival in Troy, Ohio. So we had like a little run of strawberry shows. So that was fun. But other than that, yeah, we've just been, keeping our heads down and doing our thing.
The craft brew scene in Columbus, I mean, is really family friendly. So that's not shocking that you'd be at, a place like Land Grant or in Powell, they have Nocterra. They're super family friendly.
Yeah.
So they go hand in hand.
Okay, good. It wasn't some weird thing that I got involved in.
No. You're not on like some weird cult circuit or
Okay.
anything. You're good. You're fine.
What have I gotten involved in? Well, I thought maybe one song I should play, speaking of comic strips and speaking of the library and speaking of books, we've got our smash hit song from our album Blast Off, Comic Book Shop.
Oh, yes.
And over the last year or so, I decided that I need to have a female verse added to Comic Book Shop. We talk about other female superheroes. I name a bunch of superheroes in the a song. And I have the man verse, but I never had a girl verse.
Right. The lady verse.
A lady verse. But there's not a lot of lady, and there's not a lot of woman superheroes besides Wonder Woman, of course.
Right.
They're mostly girl, and I'm not trying to be. Whatever that word is. Chauvinist. This is just the comic book world that we live in.
Patriarchal.
Right. So maybe I should do a little bit of Comic Book Shop, and with the new, never heard outside of
world premiere.
Pretty much the world premiere. Pretty much. We'll talk about why it's pretty much the world premiere.
Here we go.
All right. Comic Book Shop. Comic Book Shop. Everybody going to the Comic Book Shop. Comic Book Shop. Comic Book Shop. Everybody going to the Comic Book Shop. I said, hey, ho, let's go. Iron Fist, Falcon, Captain America, Doc Midnight, Moon Knight, Betty, Veronica, Hawkeye, Shang-Chi, Mr. Freeze, Dr. Doom, JLA, JSA, Richie Rich, Fig Bang Boom, Wonder Woman, Savage Dragon, Thor, Wolverine, Hawk Thing, Flash, well, see what I mean? Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop, everybody going to the Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop, everybody going to the Comic Book Shop. I said, hey, ho, let's go. All right, here's the verse with all the superheroes with colors in their name. All right,
okay.
Here we go. Black Lightning, Black Condor, Black Bolt, White Tiger, Black Cat, Black Widow, Black Canary, Silver Surfer, Green Lantern, Blue Devil, Black Knight, Red Tornado, Yellow Jacket, Blue Beetle, Black Panther, Green Arrow, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Red Rocket 7, Black Razor, Silver Sable, Black Alliance, I'm in heaven, Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop, everybody going to the Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop, everybody going to the Comic Book Shop. I said, hey, ho, let's go. Here's that man verse now, okay?
Man verse.
Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Giant Man, Ant-Man, Iceman, Hawkman, Iron Man, Madman, Machine Man, Monkey Man, Dead Man, Animal Man, Wonder Man, and Elongated Man, Power Man, Aquaman, Hour Man, Plastic Man, Sandman, Starman, Stilt Man, Stand-Up Man, Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop, that's Stan League. Everybody call it Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop. Everybody going to the Comic Book Shop. I said, hey, ho, let's go. All right, here we go. The girl verse. I got to look at the words now. I haven't memorized it yet. That's
Okay.
how new this is.
Ooh.
And it's going to be hard because there's a lot of words. Here we go. Big deep breath, everybody. Supergirl, Batgirl, Wonder Girl, Hawk Girl, Spider Girl, Saturn Girl, Jungle Girl, Aqua Girl, Dead Girl, Doll Girl, Triplicate Girl, Night Girl, Dream Girl, Invisible Girl, Marvel Girl, Power Girl, Elastic Girl, Dinah Girl, Phantom Girl, Squirrel Girl, Star Girl, you go girl! Comic Book Shop, yeah! Everybody going to the Comic Book Shop. I said Comic Book Shop, Comic Book Shop. Everybody going to the Comic Book Shop. I said, hey, hey, ho, ho, let's go to the Comic Book Shop. Woo! Thank you.
I love that you got Squirrel Girl in there.
You know,
She's fun.
She's the best.
She's fun. Yeah.
Squirrels, yeah, she's got some cool powers. Squirrels have cool powers.
Squirrels do.
This just really tells us, though, we need more superheroes with woman in their name
Right.
than just all those girls.
Girls.
Come on,
All
grow
the
up,
girls.
ladies. It's time to
They're
treat you like adults.
They're still very powerful, though.
They
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
No two ways about it, but still, it's still a sexist world.
Or sexist comic
At
book
least sexist
world,
comic
right.
book world, right? Yeah. So I remember my first. Even before I read Wonder Woman, I read the Fantastic Four with Invisible Girl.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
They later did change her to Invisible Woman, though.
That's good. Okay, what's a
But
start?
in my song, it fits better as
I'm
Invisible
sure.
Girl,
it
I'm
does.
yeah.
sorry.
Right. That's okay. So what else you got for us, Ian?
Let's
We'll
not
let you
go
take
down
a-
that
we'll
show
let you
this
take a-
road. Okay,
yeah,
got
right.
it. I'm just trying to represent you guys.
That's all right.
And we're playing to kids,
You
which
did
are a lot of girls.
Yes.
You did great.
Thank you.
And you
I
said
love it, yeah.
you said it was almost a world premiere. Were you going to tell?
Well, here's what another thing I've been doing, especially it started when the lockdown happened. When was that now?
Oh God, March of
couple of years
2020,
ago?
yeah.
That was like, are we in year 3? I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever that was, right when the lockdown happened, I immediately thought about the kids and thought about the parents and thought about everybody, being quote unquote trapped together, based, your pajama diaries, and all the. So I decided to do a Facebook live show, on our Shazbots Facebook channel. Facebook channel? No, Facebook page.
Yeah.
They call them Facebook pages. Old
YouTube's
Captain.
channel, yeah.
But yeah, so I did a live show called Captain's Record Room.
Oh.
So it was live from my record room on the Space Winnebago in my house. And
You parked the Winnie at your house.
that's right.
Yeah.
And I did that live for 200 days straight. Every morning at 10:30, I'd get up and do that. Like I say, 200 days straight, and then I kind of switched and just I forget what the schedule was, but like every other day or something like that. And I just would sing songs, and we talk about books. We'd read Shel Silverstein poems every day, and I'd get out different musical instruments I had and talk about those, and it was just kind of a fun thing. And we talk, the kids and the kids obviously, and the parents helping would type questions, and we'd interact that way. I'd have my sidekick Luna Stardust, aka my wife Diane, would help me produce the show and read the comments and all that kind of stuff. And that was kind of a real. I've heard from a lot of people that really helped them get through that. I heard a great story. I played birthday parties too, is another thing I still am. Captain is doing over the summer, and I just played one, and they reminded me of their son, who's now I think 3, was the party that I played at when he was 1 a couple of years ago when I was doing the show. They reminded me he was real sick in the hospital, and hooked up to all the tubes and all that kind of stuff, and he was like, bleeding from the mouth. He's just in so much pain and like nonstop crying. And then they turn on the show, the record room show, the Captain show, and that was like the only time he'd stop crying and smile.
Geez,
Wow.
Yeah, this is how. That's exactly
amazing.
how I felt.
Oh
They're telling
my
me
gosh.
this in the middle of me playing a kid's birthday party. I'm trying not to cry at this birthday party, but it also felt so heartwarming that here's a story straight from the horse's mouth, as they say, and to make it because when you're playing to my phone or something, it's
right.
hard to know. Because I feed off of people's reactions,
right.
so it's kind of hard. You're in your own little bubble, but hearing those stories and other, kids would send me drawings and stuff in the mail, and so it kind of felt good. I was able to give people something. So that's where I wrote that. So it was heard on my Facebook page.
Okay, great.
So second world debut.
But over the airwaves.
Yes.
But I've never played it out live yet.
Wonderful.
That new verse.
Well, I appreciate us being able to enjoy that together. That was
Okay,
really
there you
good.
go for you, sir.
I want to have Ian sing us out.
Uh-huh.
But we got a couple of announcements we got to
Do
make
it.
for the library. One is thank you, Delaware, for a great book sale this
Yeah.
past weekend. We had book sales at the Delaware and media sales at the Delaware Library. They raised over $2,500 in 9 hours of sales. It was just an incredible sale. Thank you all for showing up. Next sale will be September 10th at the Orange Library. That'll be in the community room and in the lobby of the Orange Library, September 10th.
And that's the last one at Orange.
That's probably the last one at Orange.
Yeah,
yes.
because they'll move over to Liberty after that.
Yep.
And yeah, as far as events go, we just have the big one coming up. Register for it Saturday, August 27th. Dungeons and Dragons is back. It's at the main library after hours, 5 to 8 p.m. This is for our teens. So go ahead and RSVP for that. We do have some space for a Maker Studio program, which is rare.
Yes.
The engraved garden markers. So we're going to use the laser cutter to engrave some simple garden stakes and keep your plants organized, or prepare for next year's harvest. So
or your pets.
yeah, right, exactly. So that's coming up on the 25th at 9 a.m. So it's a morning one.
We have a couple of book clubs this week too. We've got I think it's Harla has a book club coming up, and so does Carrie. And those are both on Tuesday. So check it out. We've got one of the books that we're going to be reading for Harla's club is The Personal Librarian, which I've heard is a terrific book. I'm on the waiting list for it. So sounds good.
Oh, and the second part of the Making Sense of Medicare class.
Oh, that's right. That's coming up on Tuesday morning at Orange.
Part 2, August 23rd, 10 a.m. at Orange. RSVP today.
Right. So again, thanks to the Friends of the Library for sponsoring the show. Nicole, always a pleasure to work with you.
Absolutely.
And always a pleasure to work with you too, Mr. Tellis.
Absolutely.
So, Ian, what do you want to take us out with?
Well, here's another Airwaves debut here that started in the record room.
Okay.
And I wanted to say the show has now moved from the record room to the toy room on the Space Winnebago.
Oh.
So Luna Stardust can get her downstairs back. So now it's up in the garage, over the garage room, the toy room now. So we'll start, it's on hiatus now, but we'll start back up after the summer on the weekends. We are up in the toy room.
There we go.
But here's a song that hasn't been played out for the kids. I thought maybe we'd play it here for the first time outside of the record/toy room. It's about riding bikes, which I think we could all
have a little fun with.
have a little fun with.
Yeah, the Shazbots.
There we
Captain,
go.
Captain.
Thank you. I'm going for a ride on my tricycle bike. I'm going for a ride 'cause that's what I like. Cruising down the sidewalk, Dad's watching me. I'm pedaling so fast I can't even see my feet. I'm doing it on my own, I don't ever wanna stop. But Dad says I should turn around when I get to the end of our block. Yeah, I'm going for a ride, 'cause that's what I like. I'm going for a ride on my tricycle bike. Oh, oh, oh. Here's the next bike. I'm going for a ride on my BMX bike.
Nice.
Kids still ride BMX bikes?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
With
I'm
pegs.
going for a ride 'cause that's what I like. Rolling down the road, just me and all my friends. We're having so much fun, we don't care where this ride ends. Jumping curbs and laughing like we don't care. With our bikes beneath us, we can't get to anywhere. Yeah, I'm going for a ride, 'cause that's what I like. I'm going for a ride on my BMX bike. Oh no, bridge.
Here it comes.
Mama, mama, can't you see me now? If I could have a better time, I sure don't know how. When I'm on these wheels, I feel so free. I'm ready for an adventure trip, just my bike and me. Everybody go! ride on my 10-speed bike.
Oh, nice.
I'm going for a ride 'cause that's what I like. Tell my mom I'll be gone for a while. I feel like I could ride this bike at least 10 miles. Going for a ride will make you feel good. It's the best way to see your whole neighborhood. Yeah, I'm going for a ride 'cause that's what I like. I'm going for a ride on my 10-speed bike. I'm going for a ride on my BMX bike. I'm going for a ride on my tricycle bike. Oh, come on now, get on your bikes and ride. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, oh, oh.
All right. Okay, we got Lee Yoakum mad at us already for running into the City Digest time, but hey, they'll get over it. I'm retiring before he is. So anyway, thank you very much, Ian Hummel, Captain of the Shazbots. People can go hold you on the Shazbots Facebook page.
Yep.
Anywhere else you want to point them to?
TheShazbots.com is a good place to go to. Instagram, we're everywhere.
Okay.
There we go.
And that's 2 Z's in Shazbot, right?
2 Z's, yes.
Right. Okay. Again, thanks, Nicole.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Gage. Thanks to the Friends of the Library. We will see you in the stacks.